making best of videos is always inherently dicey. These lists are always super subjective, and what your favorite thing is changes over time, right? But it is December, and people are thinking about presents in the last minute scurry for the gift-giving holidays of December. And so my favorite thing to give and to receive are books. I shouldn't say that, I like other things too. But one of my favorite things to give and to receive are books. Love books. You can see many of them behind me, and I have way more than what you can see here. So I thought I would put together a list of some of my favorite herbal books for people of different experience levels that you might consider gifting to somebody at this time of year, or at their birthday, or randomly throughout the year, because these make terrific presents. I'm Dr. Orna Isaacson. I am a registered herbalist and a licensed naturopathic doctor in Oregon and Alaska. I have spent a lot of time reading a lot of books, especially about herbs, and I have opinions. And I've already thought of a whole separate video with a whole separate category of favorite herb books that I'm going to make in the future. But today, I'm just talking about the basic ones that are at the top of my list today and that you might consider gifting for the holidays. So I want to start with a book that I think is great for people with no experience at all in herbal medicine or people with quite a bit of experience in herbal medicine. It's very accessible and it gives people a way in to using herbs and thinking about herbs that is easy to implement and kind of fun. So this book, and I've done videos about this one before, is The Spice Apothecary by Bevin, Clare. Bevin, for many years, has been the president of the American Herbalist Guild, and she teaches at Maryland University of Integrative Health, I believe is the MUIH, anyway, in Maryland. And this book is a beautiful book talking about the common spices and herbs that we use in food and how they can take our health up to the next level. There are recipes. I'm trying to find you an example of how beautiful the pages are in here. And it's very easy to read. So for family, people who are not so into it but open, I think this is a great starting point. Also great for the foodies in your life. So for the people in your life who don't celebrate Christmas because they are Jewish, this is a new book that came out this year, Ashkenazi Herbalism, that talks about the herbs that people used medicinally in the areas where Jews lived in Ukraine, Russia, 100 plus years ago. And there is surprisingly little information about this. So what the authors have done here is really quite remarkable. This isn't so much a using herbs book, like read this herb and you become an herbalist. It's a little more of history and culture of one particular group and how they used medicinal plants. And it has folklore and mysticism and history and maps and a beautiful overview of some of the very common herbs that people used. So late December, Hanukkah is over, but if you want to get your Jewish friends something because you're thinking about holidays now and you missed Hanukkah, or again, any other time of year, this is a really lovely book. For people who know more about herbalism or people who are starting with herbalism but really want to take on something meaty to look at and learn from, this book, it's heavy, hang on. This book, The Essential Guide to Western Botanical Medicine by Christa Sinadinos, came out this year. Getting my reps in. Came out this year, and it is another beautiful book, and you can see it's like 700 something pages. Beautiful pictures, I can't see from behind to see if you can see it, but hopefully you can see. And it is really comprehensive when it comes to herbs. So if you're looking, there is no one herbal book that is the herbal book, which is why I'm making a video about several herbal books today. But this is a great one for herbs that are commonly available in commerce, in our kitchens, things that we can grow in many parts of the Northern Hemisphere. I can speak to nothing about what grows in the Southern Hemisphere. So this is a really great resource. It's a beautiful book. And for the person who really wants a single reference as either a starting point or as like the first thing they're always going to pull off the shelf, highly recommend. And then the last book that I want to talk about is actually a 5-book series. And this is really for the more clinical user, the person who really wants to dig in, not just on a superficial level, but really wants an education in herbal medicine and does well learning from books. So this is part of a 5-book series this is the first book in the series, Herbal Formularies for Health Professionals by Dr. Jillian Stansbury. And Dr. Stansbury is a naturopathic doctor. She was one of my teachers at National University of Natural Medicine, and she practices in Battle Ground, Washington. And she has been doing this for a very long time. And in terms of understanding the research and understanding not just individual herbs and how they work, but how things work together and putting together formulas that balance each other well and move a patient toward better health. She's unparalleled in the books that I have seen. It is a 5-book series. The other 4 of them are here. And for the person who maybe wants a deeper herbal education and doesn't have time or finances to go to school for it, or somebody who has been through school and is still putting the things together, for the practitioner who would really like good references, these books are fabulous and I recommend them to all my colleagues. They can be useful, not exactly as a starting place. I mean, you could use them as a starting place because she gives lots of formulas for lots of issues in this 5-book series. So you could use it in that way, but I think a lot of what she's talking about is a little more advanced, and to really get the most out of it, you have to really want to dig deeply. So those are my top, 4, except one of them is actually 5 books that I'm recommending as great holiday presents for the plant geek in your life. If you have books that you love, I would love to hear about them. Please let me know in the comments or get in touch. If you like this video, if you could just hit like and follow me. If you know anybody who would be interested in this information, please feel free to tag them or to share. I wish you the very happiest of Decembers, and I will see you later. Bye.